Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Linda, can you do roll call, please?
Trustee Maher,
Here.
McClafferty,
Here.
Shaughnessy,
Here.
Snagowski,
Here.
Stapleton,
Here.
Kittredge. Here.
Okay, great. All right, next up, we have the consent agenda, which consists of the following. We have the approval of minutes for the Committee of the Whole on January 18th. We have the minutes for the Village Board meeting on January 24th. We have approval of disbursements from the January 25th through February 14th, 2022, as well as February 15th through February 28th, 22. We have a resolution, R-04-22, approving the capital improvement plan for the Village of Lamont for fiscal year 2023. Need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee McClafferty, seconded by trustee Kittredge, to approve the consent agenda. Do we have any questions or comments by the trustees on the consent agenda? Roll call, please.
Maher,
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Shaughnessy,
Yes.
Snagowski,
Yes.
Stapleton,
Yes.
Kittredge. Yes.
Okay, motion approved. Next up, we have the mayor's report, and we have a very special honor tonight. Tonight, we honor the late Norma Landgren Johnson. Norma served on the Lamont Planning Commission for 12 years and was an extraordinary volunteer in the Lamont community. Norma's granddaughter, Miranda, reached out to the Village of Lamont with a request to honor her late grandmother. Born on March 26, 1921, Norma Landgren Johnson, lifelong resident of Lamont, passed away in October of 2021 at the age of 100. Norma lived a life of giving to others and was extremely active in the Lamont community. Her philosophy of life was helping one person might not change the whole world, but it could change the whole world for one person. Norma and her late husband, Orville, raised 4 children, Patricia, Larry, Audrey, and Mary Beth. We honor her this evening for all she has given to our community. Norma became a Girl Scout leader when there was no group for her daughters to join. She was a den mother and a past president of School District 113A's PTA and Band Boosters. Norma volunteered at Oakwood School for over 10 years, helping first and second graders to read. She and her husband delivered Meals on Wheels to local residents, and she became a driver for many of the women in Lamont who had never learned how to drive, which was common for that era. Norma was a very active member of the Bethany Lutheran Church, which she served on the church council, social ministry committee, and taught Sunday school for many years. In addition, she was a member of the Bethany Quilters, where they produce over 80 quilts a year for the needy throughout the world. Norma was heavily involved in the Lamont Area Historical Society and was a past treasurer as well as president. She volunteered in the library, museum, and at several events. She was a member on the book committee for the Lamont 125th anniversary book. She served on the Lamont Planning Commission for 12 years from 1978 to 1990. She was selected to be the Grand Marshal of the Keep It Tall Day Parade in 1992. She was selected by the Lamont Chamber of Commerce for Citizen of the Year in 1995. And Norma was inducted into the Lamont High School's Alumni Hall of Fame in 2017. This list is most likely not all-inclusive. That's amazing. Norma touched the lives of so many people in and around our community. If there is ever anything she could do for anyone, she did it. We celebrate the life of Norma Johnson this evening and her community spirit and dedication to Lamont. So acknowledge with an honorary street sign in her name to be placed on the corner of McCarthy Road and 3rd Street at 1120 McCarthy Road, her longtime home. So I believe her daughters, Pat and Audrey. Are you here? Why don't you come up, Pat and Audrey? Do one without me in there. That's the one you hang up in the house.
I'm good. It's just. Yeah. I'm glad I hit the decline button on
You
that.
had a wonderful mom.
It'll be done before the meeting's over.
Do you want one of these?
Is always wrong?
Yeah, there's one. Want me to get it? Okay.
Thanks. Need a motion for that, right?
No motion. Not a proclamation.
Try to catch us.
All right. Next up, we have an appointment of a commission member. I need a motion, please.
So move.
I have a motion by trustee Stapleton, seconded by trustee Shaughnessy to approve the appointment of Rose Sula to the Arts and Culture Commission for a 2-year term. Rose was previously on the commission and is being reappointed. Do we have any questions or comments? Ron, anything to say?
She was very effective before. She had to leave for a short time, and now she's back.
All right. Good to hear. Okay, roll call, please.
Maher,
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Shaughnessy.
Yes.
Snagowski.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Kittredge. Yes.
Okay, motion approved. All right, next up, we have the mayor's mentioned, got a few things going on. We have the mask mandate. Good news, I'm sure everyone knows about it, has been lifted. Of course, there's an exception for specific places, but more importantly, it has been lifted. Mike, I don't know if you're on the line, but you can give an update when it's, oh, he's not.
Yeah, you know,
okay.
he's out of town. His reception was a little spotty, and
Yeah, no
I think
problem.
I think you covered it well. Cook County initiated their end of mitigation order effective this morning at 6 a.m. and the mitigation order that is effective now essentially rescinds the mitigation order from last month, which lifts all the vaccination and masking mandates in limited circumstances. They remain in place. Obviously, doesn't preclude from the future orders if numbers would sure to tick back up, but as of now, those have been rescinded. So, good news. I've also talked to Mike about monitoring what's happening at the state legislature in terms of remote meetings, in terms of with the mitigation and the emergency orders now being rescinded. Going forward, we're good tonight. We're all here in person, but going forward, do the previous rules for remote attendance for village board members apply, or will there be new rules that will be put into place? There's still another month or so of the legislative session, right, Chief? So we're hoping they address that. If not, we will try to address it locally under our authority. But all good news. Just want to mention that, and Mike might join us later. He can mention some more, or we'll hear from him next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks, George. All right, next up, it's my pleasure to announce the 2022 St. Patrick's Day Queen. She is Suzanne Canuti. Susie is a junior at Lamont High School and will be crowned the queen of our St. Patrick's Day Parade this Saturday, March 5th. Parade begins at 1 p.m. The route is the same as usual, heads south on Stevens Street and west to Main Street, and ends at the VFW Hall for refreshments and entertainment. So please, we encourage everyone to come out. It's supposed to be mid-50s. I saw a little bit of rain, so hopefully
Rain or shine.
yeah, it's rain or shine, so bring an umbrella, but it won't rain on our parade, right? So.
Right.
So visit our website, community calendar, for further information. So again, St. Patrick's Day Parade, it's going to be a fun time each year. It gets bigger and better. Jason, are you going to be bringing the band out again this year? All right. Awesome, awesome. So looking forward to that. Also, this year's State of the Village Address will again be a video presentation similar to what we did last year. It will be available on the Village of Lamont YouTube channel and on our website, and we will let you know when it is available for viewing. Also, be sure to sign up for our weekly e-newsletter through Stay Informed. The sign-up link is located on the website's homepage, and please check our website and news information, as well as our community calendar for event information, which is at lamont.il.us. All right. So that's it for the mayor's mention. Next up, we have the clerk's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have Resolution R522, authorizing the purchase and installation of a security camera system for the police department and village parking garage.
Need a motion, please.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Shaughnessy, seconded by trustee Snagowski. Who's taking this one, chief?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a resolution tonight to begin the replacement of the village-wide security camera system that was initially installed in most of our buildings in 2008, and it is a analog system of which many of the system's components are non-functioning now, are in need of replacement, are at end of life, and a lot of the parts are no longer available. If you remember, in the 2 years ago, the camera system at the Village Hall failed completely, and we replaced it with a temporary system using access cameras, and that's the system that we're proposing to move forward with. The systems in the police department and the parking garage are frequently failing now, and we propose to use the first phase to get those two facilities up and running. We didn't do an RFP, but we did obtain 4 quotes from vendors on 3 different camera systems. 2 of the vendors couldn't come up with a solution for the parking garage. Apparently, it's a lot of these camera systems will not work in a non-internet dedicated environment. 2 others were able to work through that, and of course, we wanted to get a system that would work village-wide throughout our entire system. That low and the lower cost of the 2 vendors was Mead Electric, that proposed to use the same access hardware camera systems that we now use at Village Hall and have been operating pretty well over the last 2 years. So we're asking tonight for appropriation authority for $240,000, not to exceed $240,000, for $85,000 of that to be dedicated to the police department and $155,000 for the parking garage facility. We have the board gave us money in the current fiscal year budget to do the police department, so we do have that, and we would need additional funding next year to build out the parking garage facility, and then in subsequent years to then build out the system in the rest of the village. The actual quotes from Mead Electric for the 2 systems are $148,240 for the parking garage and $78,207 at the police facility. And staff recommends entering a contract with Mead Electric to procure this equipment and to get the systems installed.
Thanks, chief. Any questions or comments?
I was wondering about how many cameras will we have in the garage, approximately?
So the garage, I think, has 4 cameras now. The proposed system, which will include the elevators, will be 20 cameras.
Thank you.
Chief, is there an employee that, like, is proactively looking at it, or is it just used for, hey, we had an incident, we're going to go back and look at it?
Well, both. So all of them transmit to the front desk at police headquarters. We have the bay of television, so they have access to all those cameras.
Got it.
And of course, you know, there are periods of time, like on the weekends, when we're not there.
Right.
But otherwise, you know, the system we had at the parking garage we had to physically go there and pull off of a DVR if we had a crime there. This system that is now installed in a village hall, we can remotely do that at any of our desks, or several of the administrators here can go online at any time and have access to the live footage of those cameras.
Got it. Any other questions or comments?
I have a
I
question.
have one, and I don't see it anywhere in here. I see we have a 1-year warranty on the thing. Do they have any approximation on, how long do these things last? I noticed the last one is 14 years old now, breaking down, not functioning properly.
Typically for the
Just so we start bringing it into the budget early, Mark.
typical hardware is end of life is 5 years for the replacement of the cameras, but these are fairly inexpensive pieces of hardware.
Okay.
And it's the system itself that is more expensive. These Axis cameras have a perpetual license. Once you buy them, you don't have to continually pay for additional licensing annually. You don't have to pay for maintenance. It's time and materials if the system goes down. And they have a pretty good track record. Here, we haven't had a lot of problems.
Is that
here.
provided by Mead or by the manufacturer? By Axis?
Which, the
Well, what you're
license?
talking
The
about,
license,
these-
the license is from the hardware manufacturer.
Okay.
Mead is an installer and reseller.
Okay.
Think of like Ford and, a Ford dealer.
Yeah, right.
Does
Okay.
Mead maintain it as well?
Pardon me?
Do they maintain it as
Mead,
well?
Mead will maintain it, and it'll be time and materials on that maintenance contract.
Was
And
the
there-
rates in the, I didn't see the rates for the time and materials.
Are they outdoor cameras? For the, chief, are they outdoor cameras for the garage?
They're different. There are outdoor cameras both in the parking lot of the police department and for the exterior parking garage.
Okay,
The ones in the lockups will be specifically certain upgraded cameras. The ones in the elevators will be different than the ones outside in the parking garage.
so the storage of the video, is that a separate contract? Is that an ongoing expense?
No, that's included in this. There's a
Okay.
server that'll be
Got it.
installed here, and then down the line, there'll be another server at Village Hall. That'll be a relay server.
So we store it on our own, not in the cloud or whatever. Dave, I'll leave this up to you. I'm sure you got
Correct,
some
and I think there's
conversations
backup,
on this.
but very temporary at each camera.
Yeah.
Most of it's pushed.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll call you.
All right. Thanks, Dave. All right. All right, roll call, please.
Maher,
Yes.
McClafferty,
Yes.
Shaughnessy,
Yes.
Snagowski,
Yes.
Stapleton,
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
Resolution R622, authorizing the order and purchase of 2022 John Deere 85G FT4 excavator through Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved?
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee McClafferty, seconded by trustee Kittredge. Ralph, you want to take this?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, I'd like to thank trustee Shaughnessy for not asking me to paint all the crosswalks green for Saturday. Yeah, but the first resolution I have tonight is for the purchase of a mini excavator through the Sourcewell Cooperative. The one we have now is a 2002, which is now kind of hurting us on maintenance, so it's time to replace that. So the quote came in at $144,852.34 from Westside Tractor. So staff recommendation is to purchase the equipment from Westside Tractor for $144,852.34. And this is budgeted in the 2023 fiscal year.
Any questions or comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Maher,
Yes.
McClafferty,
Yes.
Shaughnessy,
Yes.
Snagowski,
Yes.
Stapleton,
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
Next is Resolution R722, authorizing the order and purchase of 2023 Peterbilt 548 single-axle truck chassis and cab with certain specifications and equipment through Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion by trustee Kittredge, seconded by trustee McClafferty. Ralph?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Same thing here. This is a Peterbilt 548 single axle truck. That would be one of our fleet snow plows. This is in addition to the fleet. This is not a trade-in issue. So the low bid was the JX Truck Center through the Sourcewell Co-op at $113,673. And the equipment, the snow plow and spreader will be bid out at a later time when the truck comes in. The lead time on these trucks are getting longer and longer each day that we wait to order them. So you guys had approved that the order go through last week, so we did so. So staff recommendation is for JX Truck Center for $113,673.
Ralph, any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Maher,
Yes.
McClafferty,
Yes.
Shaughnessy.
Yes.
Snagowski,
Yes.
Stapleton,
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
And the last is Resolution 822, approving award contract for Stevens Street Water Main Replacement and resurfacing River Street to Industrial Park Drive, DCEO, project number 20203344.
Okay, need a motion, please.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Snagowski, seconded by trustee Stapleton. Ralph?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the water main replacement from River Road to underneath the viaduct on Stevens Street. We bid this out about 11 months ago, and the processes took really long. I mean, everything is slowed down, and in that time period, the material prices have skyrocketed. So the low bidder on the project was Unique Plumbing at $294,229. They have agreed to keep their labor costs the same on that bid, but they are requesting an extra $19,900 to cover material costs, which still would be under the engineer's estimate of $348,042. So staff recommendation is to award the contract to Unique Plumbing for, I lost my place here. Where are we at?
94.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. No, it will be 314,129 with the additional. Yeah. Yeah, so that's where we're at, the $314,129 award to a Unique Plumbing.
Okay, thanks, Ralph. Any questions or comments?
And I should mention that as part of the budget process, but this $275,000 will come from a state grant that Leader Durkin was able to secure
Curran,
for us.
right?
Curran,
Yes,
excuse me.
Senator Curran.
We have two of them, one from each, but was able to obtain 2 years ago. Again, good project, it's permitted, and we'll get this in this year.
Awesome. All right. Okay, roll call, please.
Maher,
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Shaughnessy.
Yes.
Snagowski,
Yes.
Stapleton,
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. All right. Next up, no village attorney report, correct?
Nope.
Okay. George, administrator report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll have a couple items under executive session, but just want to make note of the meeting schedule in March. Our next voting meeting will be March 14th. We will also have our budget public hearing that'll take place at that meeting. Last month, we talked about our five-year capital plan and capital equipment list, and tonight we approved the capital plan, so we'll get those projects out to bid. But the entire budget will be made available online by the end of this week, right, Chris? And we'll have a public hearing on March 14th. We'll have another public hearing in April. Approve the budget in April, along with the other associated ordinances that we do every year. But please take a look at the budget when it's available at the end of the week, and you can send in comments or you can attend to speak on March 14th. Thank you.
Thanks, George. Okay, next up, any board reports?
Well, there's one thing I was going to mention. I don't know if it's something we should look at again as a board is home rule. I know with COVID, all the issues we had with dealing with the county and the state, we had people asking why aren't we home rule? And we did go through this before, but I think it's something, maybe this election may be a good time to maybe just put it on the ballot and let them tackle it one more time. I don't know if anybody else has any feelings on that.
So put it on as a referendum
referendum.
question? No.
I'm in favor of that. I think there's a lot of benefits to being home rule. And I know maybe in the past, there was some misunderstanding by the public of what it actually means to them. But as far as government's concerned, I think home rule infers what it is, that we have control of those things which now we yield to the county. So I think there's a big difference in the way the county's managed and the way the village is managed. And so I think that's something that I think needs some conversation, and I would support it.
Ditto.
Ditto.
All right. Okay, so do we, I know Mike's not here,
Well,
but.
check,
It's a time frame, and
we would have to approve an ordinance in March in order to make the, JC, probably June, is that the primary date? So we'll talk to our attorney after the meeting and then, come up with some language, similar to last time, and then we'll, kick it around for comment. But I believe March is the date, probably that March 14th, we'd have to get it approved. If it has to be earlier, we'll call a special meeting.
I think it's a 4-year period. I think that's what he told us last time when we.
Well, it's two, you can only, vote for home rule once every 2 years.
2 years, okay.
I think the
that's
2 years has passed, but
Okay.
in order to get an item on the ballot, you have to have it approved and certified by the county clerk within, I believe, 60 days prior. So we'll look into it in March. Yeah, it is later this year. We'll look into it. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Any staff reports?
Hey, Mr. Mayor, something real quick. I know many of you have heard about these postal box thefts around the Chicago area. They've been proliferating, especially now with that tax season. Last night, Palos Heights came up on some guys that were outside of their post office. And what they're doing is breaking in, either prying the boxes open or using stolen mailbox lock keys to get into the boxes. But they chased them out of there. Shortly after, Palos Park did a cruise through their post office lot and found the same stolen Jeep and the two guys out of the car and chased them out of there too. Neither agency caught them, but they're getting close. So we haven't had them in our town yet, but just a word of caution. The Postal Service is recommending to use the inside mailboxes to make sure that if your checks are out in the boxes outside, that they could be susceptible right now. And there's been a huge rash around the Chicago area.
So just for clarification, so they were, where were they stealing? At the post office?
The mailboxes that are outside of the post office. But it's easily, you can go onto the post office site and find, locations of every mailbox, and there have been other mailboxes, neighborhood mailboxes, other boxes that have been pried open or use the keys to get into them and steal the mail from them. And then they're taking all the checks and, dumping the rest of the mail.
Interesting.
Chief, could you explain what that means to people as far as they write a check to somebody, put it in the mailbox? What do the bad guys do with that?
Yeah, well, what they typically do is if it's normal ink, they'll just wash the check with acetylene until it's and get the ink off of it, and then rewrite that check and cash it themselves. So they're recommending using the wet ink pens. What are they called?
Fountain pens?
No,
Wet
oh,
ink
gel.
pens?
The gel pens. Gel pens can't be washed through the washing process.
Is this a gel pen? All right, thanks, Chief. Yeah. Chris, Darshana, Jason, Ralph? All good? Okay. All right. Any unfinished or new business? All right. With that being said, next up, George, want to take over audience participation?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the time of the meeting where anyone from the public can speak. We do offer opportunities to email or call in your question prior. Have not received any, but we'll open it up now for audience participation. And please come to the podium, state your name, and we have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Dave Wilkes, Mayor, 13411 High Road.
How you doing, Dave?
Kevin seen me when I come in. I haven't been here in 25 years. Asked me right away, what's wrong with High Road? Well, that's why I'm here, I told him.
That makes me old, Dave.
I know, but you got a good memory. Problem is, you guys, police protection and fire protection is on High Road and 127th Street. Problem is, and when anybody up there calls the dispatch, everything else, they sit and they argue with us. Tell us to call Romeoville, tell us to call Will County. We're not Will County, we're not Romeoville. It's Lamont. Lamont's had that road. Kevin knows. 25 years ago, DuPage County wanted to close that road. Lamont took the road over, High Road, all the way up to the concrete pillars, which is about halfway down.
Right.
Okay. Next problem is, that's why I'm here, is because Sitco took and closed that road for 4 days last month. Nobody here was aware of it. We got no letters from anybody from Lamont. I went down to the Public Works, they didn't know about it. High Road is a 5-ton load limit road. I called, I told them that, and they says, don't worry about it. Well, once you guys go up there and take a look at it, it's destroyed. They destroyed Romeoville's end brutal, and your end, 2 feet on both sides of the road, is busted and cracked off. So you need to address this, because how can they close the road without even telling you? And there was no reason for them to shut off High Road. The tankers could have came up and down High Road and went out like they do. We've all had excellent with Mobile up there. Their trucks do not come from 135th, they all come from 127th, they go back to 127th. Now the funny thing is, on 127th Street, you got signs that says, load limit 25 tons strictly enforced. Now, you don't want them going up a 25-ton road, but you let them go down a 9-ton road, and they destroyed the road. Just want to make you guys aware of it, because it's a joke. You know, next thing is, both sides of the road need to be cleaned. There's tires, there's a freezer laying up there and everything else. You know, they don't come down and take care of that road. They come up, Public Works comes up to the end of Mobile, and they do a turnaround there. They salt from there down to the end. They don't come the rest of the way. And their excuse is that there's no place for them to turn around. They used to go and they just used to turn around 135th Street and come back down. And that was another big issue when they shut the road down, because there's buses that go down the road or street, 2 families with kids. The buses couldn't turn around, and one of the tankers almost hit the school bus. And when the kid called, his dad called Lamont Police, they told him, call Will County, call Romeoville. You know, it's a big issue. And then the one section of property just got sold up there, 20 acres, and a guy wants to put a trucking terminal in there. You can't do it. The road's not rated for it. The road ain't even wide. You can't stick 2 trucks on that road. You hit the mirrors. You know, drive down that road and take a look at your section of the road. And this guy's trying to pull a fast one, and he's trying to annex into Romeoville. So you people who have the road and everything else, you ought to look into this. And I talked to Kevin. I'll call Kevin, and we'll straighten some other stuff out, but that's all I got to say for today.
Do we go all the way to,
You go all the way up to the concrete pillars, which
Yeah.
used to be Art Peterson's, and Art Peterson's
Yeah.
property.
And then Romeoville
Passed away?
has the remainder of it.
Yes.
Where the curb and gutter is, isn't it?
The curb and gutter is Romeoville's.
Romeoville's, right.
The non-curb and gutter is yours, and that's another problem, because that road was put in there when I was a little kid. There's no base under that road. That's why Mobile took from their gates all the way down the hill, they dug it all out, and they put like 3 feet of asphalt. Made the road for 7,600 pounds, truck weight. From there back, it's not, it's the old road. So that's where the issue is.
When
And I've
did,
asked to put they keep ripping down the 5-ton low limit sign and the no truck signs. Romeo put them up on the corner. They lasted 2 days there.
who's ripping them down, you think, Dave?
I'm not gonna say, We'll talk about that
Yeah,
if you want to after
okay.
the meeting.
No, no, no,
you know?
fair enough. When did they close for 4 days? What, do you have the
They
approximate
had the
date?
sign out there
Yeah,
for a
they
week
said it's
prior.
been
I can give you
I didn't see it.
This from Romeoville Public Works has everything else. Romeoville sent me this letter. They closed the road from 2/7 to 2/11. Actually, they had it open, Friday morning, they had it reopened.
And our section of the road was
Yes.
closed?
Yes, no, not closed. They ran down your section of road and destroyed it.
Oh, got it, got it.
They put a High Line in over 127th Street, but they didn't need to close High Road.
Yeah.
That High Line is 25 feet in from High Road. The trucks could have still turned on High Road, come in and out as they normally did. But they closed it off. The only vehicle that sat on 127th High Road was a crane operator's truck.
Got it. Okay. Did we,
And I also called Citgo, and I told the lady down there, and she says, well, they've been doing this project for a year, there's not a problem. And I told her flat out too, it's a 5-ton road. And I asked her, I says, what are you gonna do with the buses? She goes, what buses? I says, the buses that come down and pick up the kids. Had no clue that there's buses that come down there. She goes, well, we'll call Romeoville. It's the next problem. Everybody on this side of the canal goes to Lockport schools.
yeah.
Very poor plan.
So it's the Lockport buses that go down there? Do we have any Lamont
No,
buses?
it's all Lockport
All
buses.
Lockport.
Got
Let
it,
us get in front of Citgo.
yeah.
You know, we have some meetings coming up, and
And if you need, Kevin's got my number, anything else
Okay.
you need to get a hold of me, I'll be glad to go down there.
Great, Dave.
sounds good.
Appreciate it.
I've lived there for over 30 years and have not had a problem with that road. And now it's destroyed. Drive down it, you'll see what happened.
Thanks, Dave.
thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. All right. Anyone else? All right.
That's it.
All right. Okay. Well, we are going into executive session, so I need a motion to go into executive session to discuss under Chapter 5 ILCS of the Open Meetings Act, 120 ILCS 120/2C5 for real estate purchase or lease. I have on here ILCS 122C6 for real estate setting a price for sale. I have ILCS 122C1 for personnel employment. Are these all correct, George?
Correct.
Okay. I need a motion, please.
So move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Stapleton, seconded by trustee Kittredge to move into executive session. Can I have a roll call, please?
Maher,
Yes.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Shaughnessy,
Yes.
Snagowski,
Yes.
Stapleton,
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
All right, motion approved. That ends the first part of our public session meeting. Want to thank everyone for coming out. And again, want to thank the family of Norma Langren Johnson. Thank you for coming out. She was a great woman. And I think Ralph will be getting the sign up shortly on that street. So again, thank you. So no decisions?
There'll be no formal action after executive session.
Yeah, okay. So with that being said, we will clear the room and start executive session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.